Thank you, Melody. Thanks, everyone. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing on day 2? Are you, eagerly, waiting or looking forward to the final pitch? Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I'm eagerly waiting for the final pitch and wants to cheer for all the contestants.
Of course, of course. So I am very glad to have a panel of good friends. They are all related to Jumpstarter. So HSBC has been our title sponsor for the last 6 years in a row. And then on the right-hand side, 2 previous winners of Jumpstarter. So maybe just a quick introduction of yourself, or maybe give us some updates about your personal life. Start with Sid first, or
Oh, right, okay.
Justin?
So I'm Justin, I'm from Gense Technologies. We do medical hardware. So personal life-wise, just a kid.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's really exciting times. Another startup to do now, just on the kid side.
Sid? Yeah.
Sure. So I'm Sid. I'm one of the co-founders of Clear Robotics. We make unmanned electric boats and ships that do dull, dirty, and dangerous marine work. On a personal life, I have been traveling a lot to India because that's where our business has been expanding. And so hopefully we'll be giving you guys some good news soon on that.
Yeah. How about Christina?
So I'm actually very, very excited about this panel today. Not just connecting with Cindy again after last night, and particularly for Sid and Justin. We just mentioned, I knew both of them back in 2022's Jumpstarter event. At that time, I had the privilege to present the award to both of these young gentlemen. They are still very young, but I'm so happy for the journey they have went through. And this year is actually HSBC's 160-year anniversary. So it's particularly sort of meaningful. HSBC has been in the market for 160 years. We have been here non-stop. This demonstrates our strong commitment to support companies. My role in HSBC is actually covering SMEs from startups to mature companies. So startups is particularly important to the entire economy. So I wish to thank Jumpstarter event again for this great opportunity for the startups to come together and learn from each other and grow together.
Great. So 160 years is a long history, right? So I hope that both of you, your companies will be, long-lasting as HSBC going forward. But before that, let's, start from the beginning. Maybe, think back. I understand both of you have your ideas, have these ideas when you were studying in universities. So I'm sure in the audience there are university students and also early stage startup founders. So can you share with them at what time, what is the timing that you decide, oh, I have an idea, let's do it, and let's have a startup? Yeah, maybe from Justin, you want to start?
Sure. So it was at a time when we realized how much impact we could potentially make, and how viable a business idea that is. So what we're doing now is we have a belt that you wear around your body. It takes a minute, and then we primarily look at disease like fatty liver, some kidney disease, lung disease. And at that time, we're looking at stats. It's a bit staggering. For fatty liver, we have 40% of people in Hong Kong having it. It's a leading cause of liver cancer. And for different diseases as well in our places. And when we look at technologies, because when I studied, we had a group of PhD friends, we have some professors working with us, and realized that this is potentially quite game-changing because we can do a lot of screening, not just a lot cheaper, we're talking about 10%, 5% of what we can do compared to clinical standards right now, but also how scalable this is. We can make it a lot smaller, a lot easier to operate. We have people who have no medical background operating our device as well. So that's sort of the idea that we had when we see big market potential and a huge scalability with a good price point. Yeah. And it made sense, so we brought that forward.
Okay. How about Sid?
Well, Cindy, so originally we didn't think we were going to make this into a company. In fact, me and my friends did this as a project to get a free holiday from our university.
Right,
and
yeah.
And what happened was we started getting inquiries from a lot of shipping companies. And we were like, why do the shipping companies care about this university project? And we realized that the marine industry is actually going through a kind of major shift, right? And so the internet revolution sort of never hit the marine world, and it's today that AI, internet, a lot of that very sort of structural, infrastructural change that we take for granted now is getting into the marine industry. And so we, at that time, figured out that we were solving a very high pain point, as Justin pointed out, at a very good value, and that, in fact, the future of the industry was potentially what we were building. And so that's when we said, okay, let's do this full time. Let's figure this out.
Yeah. To continue with Sid, I understand that you have already expanded to outside of Hong Kong and especially in India. I think you have, cover a lot of the regions. Any good tips to share with our budding entrepreneurs who are trying to look to expand their products outside of Hong Kong?
Sure. So you're going to laugh. I think one of the first things I learned is doing business in Hong Kong is very easy, and most of the rest of the world is very hard, right? So that was one of the hardest things. I think doing business in India is much more difficult, and much like the rest of the world. But I think a couple of things. The first is we looked at pain point. So in fact, in India, for what we do, the pain point is higher than in Hong Kong. And so we knew if we had a good product here, it's going to do well over there. The second was market size. And this, I think, is Hong Kong in general. Because it's a small city, it's a great place to test and springboard out of, but it's not necessarily a great place to grow very big. And so India was a huge market, and so the market size also mattered. And the last piece was kind of distribution, where you can have a high pain point and a huge market, but if you can't access that, then your startup doesn't grow. And in India, we were able to find good distribution channels to actually reach out and get those contracts. And so for us, that's kind of how we made that decision, and I think that was a good basis for us going in.
So Sid has, shared some of the pain points, right, in expanding to overseas. So Christina is, like HSBC is a global bank, and I understand you also have like innovation banking, trying to help especially young technology startups to really tap into the markets, which is changing very quickly. So in addition to traditional like lending, payments, is there anything that HSBC can really provide to help these budding entrepreneurs as they expand overseas?
Yeah, sure. Actually, the existence of a bank is to help our clients. So they have a need, we are there to help out. Probably maybe surrounding the issue or concerns that Sid has mentioned, so we can offer a few supports to the extent possible. For example, as Sid mentioned, doing business outside Hong Kong may be more challenging. Actually, I can't agree more. It is not easy to start a business from foreigners. So the local support is very important. So HSBC, we are very glad that we have a pretty comprehensive and decent network. Altogether, we have presence in 58 sites and territories. So it covers the key markets or important market, emerging markets worldwide. And for our local teams can offer different types of supports and connections. So when, for example, if you want to move to the next destination on top of just India, our team there could offer you with the connection. Even though we might not have all the connection, we can line you up with the connection that can help your business. So don't be hesitate to tell us what do you want. We can, actually banks' resources can be used. We are very happy to help out. So let us know how we can help in terms of the networking part. So that's number one. Number two, actually, even for payment and lending, day-to-day works is still very important from a company's perspective. Again, we are learning from the startups because they offer a lot of different ideas and solutions. So that also inspire us to improve on our day-to-day solutions. Just take credit lending as an example. In the past, actually, for the bank, if we want to do a lending, be it 1 million or 100 million, the process, the documentary requirement, the resources involved is more or less the same. So the result is a lot of the staff's resources will gear towards the higher value types of lending. But these days, we're doing a lot more, actually we adopt more AI and data to help us to do analysis. Now we can proudly say we are able to offer pre-approved loans using the data internally, that's for our client. And actually we are also using third-party data, of course with the client's consent, through the Hong Kong MA CDI program, so be it through the CCRA, the credit referencing agent, or through the interbank data sharing sharing that we can have the data from other banks, again, with clients' consent, so that the whole processing of credit application could be a lot more efficient and faster. And in terms of amount, can be more diversified. So in terms of the different customers, we are actually doing an analysis and we have an indicative loan amount for our clients. Actually, for Justin and Sid, you have an loan. Feel free to let me know how much you want. We are happy to consider offering you with a preferential rate.
No, thank you, appreciate that.
Okay, that's great. I mean, that's great news, right? For banks, usually we feel it's only about the financing, the payments, but the business opportunities is also actually very valuable, especially for young entrepreneurs who want to test their products, to want to have business connections. I think a good banking relationship can also bring that very unique resource is to help the business to grow is definitely something that is really worth is very worthy to the business growth. So the topic today is AI and sustainability. So I know that both of you are using AI in your products. So let's move on to the sustainability side. To Justin, so sustainability, I think, is something that you are looking into as well, right? So how do you balance profitability and sustainability in your business model?
Right. So sustainability, there are many ways of looking at this. We had a question, I think we talk about a bit of financial sustainability, about innovation, balancing with profitability, and also the social impact that we have. I think one of the key things is, as long as you're really clear about what impact you have, and we only look at two additional things. The first one is focus. We really have to deploy really in a focused manner, just so that we deliver the maximum impact and financial impact with the limited resources we have. And that's sort of what we have been doing all along. And the second thing is really, the source of innovation we have is to look at clients. They tell you what they really need. We don't really innovate just for the sake of it. We operate in quite a lot of markets. We operate in clinics, we operate in nutritional, we operate in elderly services. In medicine, there's a lot of stakeholders, and they have different incentives. For us, it's really just aligning all the win-wins. And with this, then there's a lot of solutions that we have that are really simple ones that would really push through the next one. So one of the things that it's a really good intersection of sustainability and the business profitability is that we're launching basically a renewable one-use component that we have. So originally we're using one-use electrodes all the time for hygiene reasons. And right now, because of operational speed, because of how easy it is to operate, and obviously environmental concern as well, this is one new innovation that we're working with university that has basically we've done quite a lot of initial testing, really good results to launch it out. And those came from customers. They told us what are the priorities, what are the things that would really help them scale a lot more. And we listened from that and find a solution to go for it. And that's sort of how we maintain a balance.
Yeah, I think in terms of sustainability, it's not only about talking about the environmental protection and so on, but also in terms of financial sustainability as well, and sometimes actually doing something good for the environment, like what you just mentioned about the reusable components. Actually, both helps improving your margin, but at the same time, it's good to the environment as well, right? Okay, so in terms of, and of course, I think, Sid, your business model is basically, trying to do something really good to the environment in the sustainability side. Do you have anything to add on that?
No, sure. Well, I think ours is a bit simpler. So we have a simple rule, no profit without impact, no impact without profit. So we don't do projects that are not profitable, number one, and we don't do projects that are not impactful. And so and in our business model, effectively is baked in the impact anyway. So if I do a project, I will create impact just because of the nature of the way our business model works.
Right, I see. So both of you have a business model. Of course, in long term, you have to be profitable, right, in order to have a long-term business. But you balance both the business model and doing sustainability, have some sustainability efforts. So in terms of the banking solutions or banking services that's perhaps like HSBC is providing or can offering you. Do you have anything that you have in mind to say, oh, if they can do this, that would be really great? So is there anything that you think a bank, a modern bank can help startups like yourselves? Or put Christina on the spot, right? You can ask Christina for that.
I think what I can start with is something that people might not know, but they're already doing quite well. And we look forward to seeing more. It's banking. You think about financing, you think about digital banking, a lot of services, but at the same time, it's a really, really big network as well. And when we work with our managers at a bank, quite often the times that when they come to us is there any synergies that we can provide you with? With the clients that we already have. It could be new clients, it could be partners, it could even be suppliers. They have to know how they have the sort of the knowledge about what's the next movement it's going to be. And I think that's a really, really underappreciated asset that a really good bank and a good bank relationship could give you. And I would look forward to more of those.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's just a win-win solution, right? You can help in client retention and acquisition, but at the same time help your business as well. How about Sid?
So,
anything you want Christina to help?
well, I'm gonna start by actually saying thanks, because I remember when we started HSBC 2021 or so, I still remember I used to have to get on the phone and sometimes solve problems. And actually today, I was just talking about this earlier, I don't even realize HSBC exists, which is perfect. That means everything is running super smoothly. Nothing is going wrong, and it's because the bank has actually become so digitalized and so smooth that we kind of are able to handle everything on a day-to-day basis. So I'd like to start by really appreciating that. And I think where I think there's an opportunity. One is, I think with payments, still a lot of the traditional banking system is very slow, and a lot of startups today are bridging that gap, right? And I think there is still that opportunity where payments could be made, international payments especially, could be made faster. As we were expanding, we relied on that. And then the second was, which I think Christina kind of covered, was debt approvals and the process, right? Because as a startup, for us, very often we'll get an order, and then we have 60 days to deliver, and then we suddenly need debt. Right? It's not something that we can necessarily plan out, and so having that available very quickly is actually super useful to us. So it was really nice to hear that you guys are kind of working on that as well. Yeah.
Very good. Very well registered.
So Christina, you are a keen supporter of Jumpstarter, and you have been seeing these two companies from winning the competition and then growing very healthily here in Hong Kong and also overseas. And I understand that Justin is also planning to go overseas as well. While being engaged with these startups, what do you learn from them? Is there anything that you learn from them that that influence you personally or also at work?
Absolutely. Actually, these ideas and new ideas and the way they start with small and they are never afraid of challenges, afraid of problems, they will still go ahead with it. It's very inspiring to us. Actually, from our perspective, is how we can make the banking business more seamless such that they can focus their effort and resources back in the business, back to make their dream come true. So from the bank's perspective, so what we need to do is we need to be more agile, we need to be more innovative, we need to transform the way we do business in order to match up with the need they have. So from our perspective, that's why we come up with a lot of digital servicing, improve our digital capabilities such that we can offer our support 24/7. This is important because, again, when you are outside, you have a big business, you have a business there, and if you need help, what's the best way to reach out to us through the digital platform? I think it's still one of the most popular channels that our clients reach out to us. And from our perspective, we still think the clients want us to help them when they need it. So from what we try to do is we try to guess, predict, use some AI to guess when is the best moment to engage you, and when is the time you think put it this way, when's the time we think we can offer more help. So we try to base on the different footprints, be it digital or your engagement in other areas which we can catch, the bank can catch. So we through that and use AI, we try to do some model predictions, modeling, and see how we can help better. So sometimes we invite clients to share with us on this journey so that how we can enhance the entire digital journey that we can help you better. So those are the things that we have been putting a lot of resources, and we are also a keen user of AI. We sometimes, other than using AI for business, like for onboarding, we use AI for face recognition in case the client is not in Hong Kong, the ID part, and we also use AI for some fraud detections to help protect our clients' business. If there are some irregular patterns, we will alert our clients. So those are key things. And one more thing is about, Justin actually mentioned about ESG. We think we can also help because ESG is also a key agenda of HSBC. So we also want to offer support in terms of the ESG reporting, and for a lot of relatively smaller startups, we have the new economy funds, which ESG is a key element, which is a US $3 billion fund that's offered to pre-profit types of companies. For that, we have helped different climate tech, art tech types of clients to fulfill their dreams to go to whether they want to expand overseas or grow into different lines. So come to discuss with us. The bank is very happy and very excited to help the ESG development because that's for the entire wellness of our earth.
Okay. Oh, well, I think this is very good to know because no matter it is a more traditional, I would say quote unquote traditional industry like a bank as big as HSBC or startups like what Justin and also Sid are doing. No matter in which stage of your life in your business, you have to really embrace changes, be agile, and also be ready to adopt new technology to help your business to evolve and also to offer new services so that you can better serve your clients and also, of course, in return, to help your business to grow. We have still like 30 seconds left. Maybe I ask one question which is not on the question list, which I think a lot of panels will have asked the speakers. If there's one thing that you want AI to help you, what would you like AI to help you? Starting from Sid, either business or personal.
I wish AI could make me less stressed about everything that's going on.
How about Justin?
Yeah, I think emotional help. It's really helpful as well. Just generally make you happier.
Okay, so being entrepreneurs, being startup founders is really stressful. How about Christina?
I'm more greedy. I think we need two things. Number one is help us to be more client-centric because that's the fundamental part of the business. Secondly, is help us how to commercialize because for whatever things happened, we wanted to benefit more customers as soon as possible.
Right. Okay. That's it's a very good and good note, and it's a very good note. And I wish you guys, all the success in your journey in pursuing your dream. And also, thanks once again for Christina for your support over the years to Jumpstarter. Thank you.